Today's host, Madhu and Ved, would like to hear about Govardhana-leela. And I was very happy because that's what I wanted to do anyway. So, as they say, great minds think alike. So, let us begin, as Prabhupada would always begin his Bhagavatam lectures. Please repeat. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And if I don't get a chance to personally tell you, I wish you Happy Hindu New Year. Happy Diwali. Happy Govardhana-leela Puja Day. So, the history, not story, history of this Govardhana-leela is found in 4 chapters of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The scene is just after Krishna delivered the wives of Brahmanas who were performing karmakanda sacrifices. And the Brahmanas, they could not appreciate Krishna and Balaram, but their wives could. Here is an instance where the wives are more advanced than the puffed up husbands. The wives immediately were prepared not only to give Krishna food, but they personally wanted to bring it to him. And when they came with their food, they all told Krishna, we know the philosophy. After all, they're wives of Brahmanas. They should know a thing or two. They said, we know that anyone who takes shelter of you, you give them shelter, you don't kick them away. So we are ready right now to surrender. We don't care about our husbands. We have come to surrender to you. And Krishna told them, first of all, proximity is not the criteria for developing spiritual advancement. And he also said that your husbands need you for their performance of sacrifice. So Krishna told them, you go back to your husbands. I am satisfied by your offerings. And you go and serve your husbands. And when they returned and assisted in the sacrifice, then their husbands all regretted their stupidity of not recognizing Krishna and Balaram, because Krishna had sent the cowherder boys to go beg food. But the Brahmana said, no, don't bother us right now. We're in the middle of our yantras and tantras and mantras. Go away. But then when they saw that their wives spontaneously went to Krishna, then they woke up and they regretted. But still, they could not surrender. Why? They were afraid of Kamsa. So right after this Leela episode comes the Govardhan in 4 chapters. And as I was studying this for the, 50th time, because every year we review Govardhan. I've been practicing for about 50 years, almost. Yeah, 73, 2023. That's 50 years, right? So, two verses of Bhagavad Gita come to mind which are exemplified by this Govardhan pastime. The first one, every proper Hindu knows these two lines. Kaunteya prati janihi na me bhakta pranasyati. Who knows those two lines? You should. It's very famous. Krishna had Arjuna. Not that Krishna said. Krishna said, Arjuna, you declare it. People may not believe me, but they'll believe you, Arjuna. Declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes. And we will see that in this narration today. How Krishna protects not only the devotees, but the cows. Because the cows are also devotees, at least in Vrindavan. And then the other Bhagavad Gita verse that's hammered in this Leela, from the 7th chapter, where Krishna is explaining worship of other devatas. 4 verses in chapter 7. But this verse in particular, Sataya Sradaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanam Ihate Labate Cha Tatat Kaman. Here's the line. Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan. Let's repeat that. Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan. I have to wake you up. You're not fired up yet. Endowed with Shraddha, inspiration or faith, one endeavors to worship a particular devata and obtains his or her desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed upon me alone. And that will also be proven in this Leela. This is Krishna. This line, Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan. Very, very important concept in understanding our Krishna. So, the first chapter is chapter 24, Worshipping Govardhan Hill. So one day, Krishna saw that his father and all the other cowherder men were preparing for a yajna, sacrifice. Now at this time, Krishna is 7 years old. The Damodar-leela took place when Krishna was 3 or 4 years old. So now he's 7, and he sees everybody busily engaged, just like when we do sacrifices here. Lots of things going on, right? So Krishna, he asked his father, what is this? What is this? So Nanda Maharaj is thinking, oh, my little boy, how is he going to understand? So he tried to explain how we are the Vaishya community and we depend on rain. Everything depends on rain because we are taking care of thousands of cows. Thousands. And the cows, they don't eat tacos. They don't eat pizza. They eat grass. And in order for there to be grass, we need the rainfall. So, Nanda Maharaj explained to Krishna that it is customary that every year we should give thanks to Indra because he is in charge of the rainfall. And it is our duty to recognize. It's like here in America, later we will have Thanksgiving Day. So this idea is there. So yes, Nanda explained, every year we have to do this Indra Puja. But Krishna, even though he's 7 years old, he's still God. Just as, let's tie in Damodar-leela. Although Krishna is 3 or 4 years old, when Yashoda tried to tie him up, the rope was always short, 2 fingers. She added all the rope in the house. It was still 2 fingers too short. So what's Krishna showing? Yashoda, don't think you can tie me up. I am Ananta. Everybody say, I am unlimited. Just like the closest thing we have is the sky. Can you grasp the sky? Can you capture the... So similarly, you cannot tie up Krishna, especially with ropes. You're not going to tie up Krishna with anything material. That's why in that Damodarashtakam song, the important word, Bhakti Badham, you cannot tie up Krishna with anything material. Only one thing, Bhakti, your loving devotion, your heart. That's the only thing. So when Yashoda became flabbergasted and gave up trying to tie her son, Krishna said, okay, now you can tie me up. I am allowing you to tie me up. So the point being made, regardless of the bodily form, he's still God. Just ask Putana. Krishna was only 1 month old when he killed Putana. Putana was thinking, I will kill this little baby. She got killed. So the form doesn't matter. The potency is always there. Full potency. Because Krishna is Purna Bhagavan. 108% Bhagavan. There are many Bhagavans, but Purna Bhagavan, your Krishna, here in this temple, your Krishna, RadhaRaman. So, although Krishna now is 7 years old, he can detect, Indra, he's puffed up. I think it's time to teach him a lesson. So Krishna spoke in such a way as to directly agitate Indra. In order to do that, Krishna spoke you could say, atheistic philosophy. In Vedas, there are 6 philosophical schools. One is Karma Mimamsa, and that's what Krishna preached to his father. Karma Mimamsa is basically how the material world works right now. In the business world, in the world, all right, you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're Jew, you're atheist, you're gay, you're this, that, doesn't matter. Do your job. That's it. Get the job done. Whatever you do in your spare time, we don't care. But get your job done. That's Karma Mimamsa. And so Krishna was saying that whether there's a God or not God really doesn't matter, because even if there is a God, or you say we should worship Indra, he can't get give us any benediction unless we do our work. We have to do our prescribed duty. So Nanda Maharaj, he was saying okay, let's compromise. First, let's do the Indra Yagya, and then we'll do whatever you want. Now, at this time, Krishna spoke I selected 2 nice statements. Karmana jayate jantu, karmanaiva praliyate. Sukam dukam bayam kshemang karmanna va vibhajyate. In trying to convince his father, Krishna said, it is by the force of karma that a living entity takes birth. And it is by karma alone that one meets destruction. One's happiness, distress, fear, and sense of security all arise as the effects of karma. Asti ched ishwara kaschit phala rupi anya karmanam kartarang bhajate sopi nahi akartu prabhur hisaha. So Krishna then said, even if there is some supreme controller. Now this is funny. Krishna is acting as if there's no God, and he's God. So look what he's saying, even if there is some supreme controller. But if we were there, would you say, wait a second, Krishna, you're the supreme controller. So he says, even if there is some supreme controller who awards all others the results of their activities, he must also depend upon a performer's engaging in activity. After all, there is no question of being the bestower of fruitive results unless the fruitive activities have been performed. All right. So there was some discussion back and forth between father and son. But when Nanda Maharaj said, okay, Krishna, you want to do something else, so first we'll do the Indra Yagya, then and Krishna said, no, there's not enough time, not enough money. Forget the Indra. This is what I want us to do. Krishna then explained that we are a cowherder community, and basically our whole existence is based on Govardhan Hill. The cows go to Govardhan Hill, eat the grasses, get their fatty milk bag, right? And we milk the cows and we live nicely. So Krishna said we should take all the paraphernalia that you were intending for Indra, and we should do a sacrifice worshiping Govardhan Hill. And then Krishna gave nice instructions. Everyone should dress very nicely. Ladies with nice, costly saris. Everybody, and even the cows were decorated. Even the cows were dressed nicely. And then, my favorite, there should be sumptuous prasadam. And in Prabhupada's Krishna book, he gives the list. Rasgulla, samosa, pakora, sandesh, rabri, dal. Are you getting hungry? Yes. But Krishna did not mention tacos. I'm sorry. Neither did he mention pizza or burgers. And no tequila. No. He was very specific what should be offered. And then also Krishna said, everyone should be fed sumptuously. And he said, even the chandalas, even the cats and dogs should get sumptuous food on this day. See how nice Krishna is? Such a nice God. He even cares about the cats and dogs. And there should be the chanting of hymns by the Purohits. Just like we sometimes hear our pujaris chanting mantras and doing so many different things. I don't even know them. Mudras, yes. So, and then Krishna said there should be kirtan, and we should circumambulate Govardhan Hill with our bullock carts. And it was explained that they were chanting, and then Krishna manifested a tremendous form And he was on top of Govardhan Hill and declared, I myself am Govardhan Hill. So we should always remember, Govardhan Hill is Krishna, which is why you see in some temples, they have Govardhan-leela. When I go once a month to San Diego, they have a big Govardhan-leela. After all, their deities is Sri Sri Radha Giridhari. Their temple is New Govardhan. And they will celebrate tomorrow. And they will also, because I was there last week, and the Mahant was saying, everybody bring, because we're going to be throwing prasadam. We're going to have a transcendental food fight. I don't know how they're going to clean it up, but that's what they're going to do. So, the huge form of Krishna that was on top of Govardhan was eating all the offerings. Meanwhile, 7-year-old Krishna was also circumambulating Govardhan Hill and paying obeisances to himself in this big form. This is what I like about Krishna. He's so cool. He can manifest a certain form, separate, and then offer obeisances. So nice, this pastimes of Krishna. And Krishna also gave a warning for those who, especially if they live in the Vrindavan area, if they neglect this Govardhan puja, he says there are snakes and they will bite such persons. So I know you're all going to, when are you celebrating Govardhan? Monday. Yes. Die. You won't die from snake bite. Something else I don't know, but at least the snake bite. You'll be protected. So it's a grand festival, Anakut. Meanwhile, up in heaven, Indra is fuming. He is so angry. He's thinking, these residents of Vrindavan, they have listened to this 7-year-old. Let me get the actual verse. I guess it's okay because it's actually in Bhagavatam, but it's kind of blasphemous. Look at what Indra says. Vachalang balishang stabdham agyang pandita maninam krishnang martyam upashritya gopame chakur apriyam. Indra said, these cowherder men have acted inimically toward me by taking shelter of this ordinary human being, Krishna. Ouch! This is coming from Indra. This Krishna thinks himself very wise, but he is simply foolish, arrogant, and an over-talkative child. Wow. He really, he's completely in illusion. He's not understanding who Krishna is. Prabhupada explains, yes, Indra knew who is Narayan. He knew that. But he couldn't accept, or he couldn't believe that Krishna could come down, act like an ordinary human being, so to speak, and live in a Vaishya community. Because usually when Krishna comes, he takes birth in some kind of Kshatriya or Brahmana family, many times. But in a low cowherder community, Indra was saying, no, this is not my Lord. So Indra then decided, I'm going to punish these residents of Vrindavan. They deserve to be punished. So Indra called for the Sangvartaka clouds. Those are the special clouds used when it's time for universal devastation. And actually, these clouds are persons. They're actually persons. And they were afraid. So I guess they knew better than Indra. They said, wait. Indra said, no, I'll also come on my elephant, Airavata. I will support you. So it is described that for 7 days and 7 nights, Indra sent thunderbolts, lightning, and it says that the raindrops were the size of pillars, columns. That's big. Those are big drops. And it got very, very cold and blustering winds. So who was the first to surrender? The cows. The cows went to Krishna and were speaking to him. Please, take care of us. And then the residents of Vrindavan followed the cows. And Krishna, that's why I said, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Of any devotee, there are so many different levels of devotees, but the residents of Vrindavan, those are Krishna's special family members. Just like all of you, you're nice to everyone, but for your own family members, you have to give special preference. It's just normal. You have to do that. For your own family, yes, you're nice to everyone, but we have an expression, family comes first. So for Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan, that's his family. So Krishna decided to protect the residents of Vrindavan by lifting the Govardhan hill. And it's explained how easily Krishna did it, like a child plucking a mushroom, effortlessly. A 7-year-old boy holding the mountain, holding it with his little pinky. And not that Krishna was going, owie, owie, oh, no. Krishna is holding it effortlessly. Only one time did the mountain shake. He noticed Radharani, and he got a little distracted. And so there was a little shake. I was mentioning this recently. Here's another example. Radharani is more powerful than Krishna. Yes. After all, Krishna is Madana Mohan, but Radharani is Madana Mohan Mohini, the bewilder, the enchantress of this Govinda. So holding it up for 7 days and 7 nights. Now, you would think that for 7 days, the rain is coming down like anything. You would expect there to be flooding. But Krishna arranged no flooding. Krishna is giving full protection. Like we say, you're in good hands with Allstate. You're in good hands with Krishna. Therefore, devotees always take shelter of Krishna. So after 7 days, Indra finally woke up. Oh, I guess I miscalculated. So Indra told the clouds, okay, stop. Now Indra's got a predicament. He's played mischief, just like Lord Brahma played mischief, stealing all the cowherd boys and calves. And we read how Brahma, when he realized, he came crying. Brahma was crying. His 4 heads were crying. And he offered nice prayers, begging forgiveness. So Indra also. But before then, here is the prayer that the residents of Vrindavan, when they took shelter of Krishna, Everybody repeat. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga. Good, you've woken up, Jai. Twanathang Gokulang Prabho. Twanathang Gokulang Prabho. Tratum Arhasi Devana. Tratum Arhasi Devana. Kupitad Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala, I love that. Bhakta Vatsala. Nice name of Krishna. So this is what the residents of Vrindavan, one of the prayers they offered to Krishna when they wanted Krishna to save them. O Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. So this prayer is very intelligent because the science of offering prayers, first you glorify. Then you make your petition. But here, first they don't ask for themselves, they ask for the cows. Then they take care of us also. Very smart. Very, very, I don't want to say diplomatic, but intelligent. So, when Krishna was lifting Govardhan hill and Krishna decided to protect the cows, Krishna was thinking in terms of Indra, why he was doing this. Krishna was thinking, since the demigods are endowed with the mode of goodness, that's important. The demigods are in the mode of goodness. The false pride of considering oneself the Lord should certainly not affect them. So when I break the false prestige of those bereft of goodness, my purpose is to bring them relief. So this is an important thing, that there's a misunderstanding, and I've dealt with this over the years. Someone becomes a devotee, and then all of a sudden, all these bad things start happening. So the person starts to think, I became a devotee of Krishna, and my whole life is ruined. Better I never worship Krishna. That's wrong thinking. Here's the thinking. Krishna also said a similar thing to Yudhishthir. Harishye tad danang shanai. Later, towards the end of the Krishna-leela in the 10th canto, Krishna tells Yudhishthir, if I really favor someone, the first thing I do is break their material attachments. Isn't that what Kunti said in her prayers to Krishna? Please sever my tie of affection for my family and friends, and let my devotion be fixed upon you exclusively. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Mam ekam sharanam. Exclusive. So Krishna told Yudhishthir, if I really care about someone, a lot of times I take everything away. Like Draupadi. She was about to lose her honor, her dignity, her clothing. But did Krishna save her? Yes. Another example of na me bhakta parnasyati. So sometimes, and Prabhupada said in his own life, that that's exactly what happened to him. That he had all these plans and Krishna just smashed it. He had a chemical laboratory. He had just opened it. And then fire, burnt away. So Krishna immediately remembered, Krishna is trying to teach me, stop all this and just preach and execute the order of Bhakti Siddhanta, who had told him, go to the West and start the Krishna consciousness movement. Hallelujah. Thank you, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Krishna. That's why we're here. All because of Prabhupada. So, in between this narration, there's a very nice chapter called Wonderful Krishna. Because after seeing Krishna lift Govardhan Hill for 7 days and 7 nights, and then placing it back in its position, all the cowherder men went to Nanda Maharaj and said, you know, we've been seeing many miracles, many strange things about your son. We're having some doubts. We're starting to think that your son he may be God. And so they mentioned so many different leelas which had already taken place. And they even mentioned Damodar-leela. And we're still in the month of Damodar. So I selected that. This is what the residents of Vrindavan said. Kvachid dayangava stanye matra bada udukhale gachchan arjunayor madye bahubhyang tav apatayat. Once, his mother tied Krishna with ropes to a mortar because Yashoda had caught Krishna stealing butter. Then, crawling on his hands, Krishna dragged the mortar between a pair of Arjuna trees and pulled them down. That is described in that Damodarashtaka prayer, which we have been singing all month. So they mentioned many different pastimes. Then they said, Dear Nanda, how is it that we and all the residents of Raja cannot give up our constant affection for your son? That is Vrindavan. I played it earlier before the program started. There's a nice excerpt. Prabhupada is explaining the song, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. And he gives this nice explanation. And he says that the residents of Vrindavan, they don't care if Krishna is God or not. It doesn't matter. As they said here, we cannot give up our constant affection for your son. Whether Krishna is God or demigod or what, we don't care. All they know is we love your son, Krishna. And then in that song, purport, the line that I love the most, Prabhupada says, the goal of the Krishna consciousness movement is to become one of the Gopi Janas. That's for me. That's why I chant. That's why I preach. That's why I go to do what I do. Yes, I want to become a Gopi Jana. But it may take hundreds and hundreds of births. I don't care. I won't stop until I reach my goal. Will you bless me? Say Hare Krishna. Thank you for your blessings. That's my only prayer, to become one of the Gopi Janas. And how is it that Krishna is so spontaneously attracted to us? This is Krishna consciousness. It's not one way. It's reciprocal. Bhakta Vatsala. as we love Krishna, Krishna loves us. Actually, Prabhupada said several times, you take one step to Krishna, he takes 10 steps to you. That's another reason why I worship Krishna. Even Uddhava told Vidura, after Krishna's disappearance, Vidura met Uddhava right after Krishna's disappearance. And Uddhava was explaining to Vidura, how could I possibly worship anyone but Krishna? Look at it. He gave salvation to Putana, who tried to kill him. Uddhava was saying, that alone proves there's no one better than Krishna. We have somebody right now running for office. What is he saying? Vengeance, retaliation, punish. But Krishna forgives his killer. How could you not love Krishna? How could you not? Other religions depict God as some fiery, ornery, and I will smite thee down. That's their conception of God. Our conception of God, cowherder boy, loving, beautiful, and not only does he forgive his killer, he gives his killer liberation. That's Krishna. That's my God. So, all the cowherder men, they said to Nanda, we have serious doubts about your son. We think he might be Narayan. So then Nanda Maharaj said, well, I'll just tell you what Garga Muni said when he performed the Namakarana. Right after Krishna's birth, there was the horoscope, the name-giving ceremony. So Nanda said, I'm going to tell you what Garga Acharya told me at that time. So he's quoting, Ya etasmin mahabage pritang kurvanti manava narayo bibhavanti etan Vishnu pakshan ivasura. So the word is used, Vishnu. Demons cannot harm the demigods who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. You see that throughout the Bhagavatam. The demigods get in trouble. They go to Lord Brahma, but sometimes Lord Brahma can't help them. They go to Vishnu Narayan, and they're saved. So many examples in Bhagavatam. Similarly, any person or group attached to all auspicious Krishna cannot be defeated by enemies. So, managers of this temple, remember this word Garga Muni told. Any person or group attached to all auspicious. What is the name of this temple? I think it's Krishna's temple. Am I right? I didn't name it. Somebody named it RadhaRaman. So, you'll never be defeated provided you take shelter of Krishna. All in favor say Hari Bol. Cannot be defeated by enemies. So, the last thing Garga Muni told Nanda, therefore, O Nanda Maharaj, this child of yours is as good as Narayana. In his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, Krishna is exactly like Narayana. Thus, you should not be astonished by Krishna's activities. But here's the problem, and this is true for all the residents of Vrindavan: Yoga Maya. So even though they're seeing all these things, and I told you the residents said Krishna did this, Krishna killed this demon, and this happened, So even they come to the conclusion that Krishna is God, Yoga Maya takes over and they think, no, he's just one of us. And the reason for that is Krishna wants to relate to them not as God, but like one of them because of love. Same with Yashoda. For Yashoda, who is God? Narayan, not Krishna. But who does Yashoda love? Krishna. Otherwise, if Yashoda thinks Krishna is God, can she use a stick against him? Can she try to tie him up? No. Just like I've told the story. One time Krishna was hiding from the gopis. So he hid in a bush. And the gopis came and they saw, oh, it's Krishna. So Krishna wanted to hide. So he manifested a Narayan form. And the gopis immediately, Om Namo Narayanaya. And then in the next breath, have you seen Krishna? Yes, they paid obeisances to Narayan, but they're more interested in Krishna. But then, so he's holding up 2 extra arms in front of the gopis. But then somebody comes. Who do you think? Radha. And when Radha comes, Krishna is trying to keep the 2 extra. He can't. And they all say, it's not Narayan, it's Krishna. Again, proving Radha is stronger than Krishna. He can't hide behind the 2 extra arms. In front of Radharani, he becomes once again Govinda. Everybody say. So, Indra came down from heaven with his elephant Airavata. And he was also accompanied by Mother Surabhi, transcendental cows. And Indra, very stealthily, with his crown, bowed down to Krishna and offered prayers of forgiveness. And he really deprecated himself. Here's one of the things that Indra, there's several verses, I picked one. Pita guru strong jagatam adhisho duratyaya kala upata danda hitaya chechcha tanubi sohi samihase manang vidhunvan jagadisha mani nam. So this is one of the things Indra told Krishna. You are the father and spiritual master of the entire universe. And you are its supreme controller. You are insurmountable time. Same thing Krishna says in Gita, right? Kalosmi. When Arjuna saw the universal form, he asked, who are you? Time. And what does time do? Destroy. We are seeing it. We look in the mirror every day. Time in what? Right? Yes. No problem. No problem. Time comes. You are insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon the sinful for their own benefit. Indeed, in your various incarnations, selected by your own free will, you act decisively to remove the false pride of those who presume themselves masters of this world. He's actually talking about himself, because that was his mentality. Engrossed in pride over my ruling power, ignorant of your majesty, I offended you. O Lord, may you forgive me. My intelligence was bewildered, but let my consciousness never again be so impure. So this is a sincere prayer. Everybody repeat. Namastubhyam Bhagavate Purushaya Mahatmane Vasudevaya Krishnaya Sattvatang Pataye Namaha. Obeisances unto you, Krishna, the great soul. You are all-pervading, and you reside in the hearts of all. My obeisances unto you, Krishna, chief of the Yadu dynasty. So after Indra offered his prayers, Krishna said to Indra, all right, you're forgiven, and you can go back to the heaven, you can remain Indra, but don't be puffed up. And Krishna warned Indra, at any time, for anyone, not just you, any one of us, I can pull anyone down from their exalted position at any time. So then, Mother Surabhi did Abhishek of Krishna with, what does a cow have? Milk. That's how you do Abhishek. And Indra did Abhishek because his elephant Airavata in its trunk carries Gangajal. So they did double Abhishek. One with Gangajal, one with milk. And then it was at this time that Surabhi and Indra said, you are now known as Govinda. So this is the pastime. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. RadhaRaman Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. RadhaRaman Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. RadhaRaman Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. RadhaRaman Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. Thank you very much for allowing me this ecstasy to speak on Govardhan. And with your permission, would you like a blessing? My blessing as we start a new year in terms of Vedic. May Krishna guide all of you. May Krishna guide the leaders of this temple. May they always act out of the welfare of all the devotees. And may they follow Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And for all of you, may your hearts become free from anxiety, and may you feel the presence of Krishna in your hearts more and more. Giri Govardhana ki. Thank you.